In your kit, you were given 3 paints, a brush, some flowers. I just have 3, you should have 4 probably. So some flowers and a wood piece. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna paint our wood piece, then paint our flowers, wait for everything to dry, and then we'll add little sticks to make our little stems for our flowers. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear everything off. So in addition to the kit, you're going to need to go on a little nature hike and get some sticks, and you're going to need some glue. Any glue will do. This is just simple school glue, but if you have wood glue or glue all, that's fine. So you guys should have 3 colors of paint. And what I am going to do is I am just going to paint my black. I'm going to be a little boring, and I'm just going to paint it white. So I'm just going to put a little white paint. As you paint, remember just to spread all those chunks out. And as you paint, you guys could do the edges as well. Oh, I forgot to turn my light on. That might help. Do all. And if you have, this is just acrylic paint, so if you have any acrylic paint at home, you could also use that. Because if you want, you can get really creative, and if you have different colors, you could use different colors to paint your flowers. So once I paint this white, I'm actually going to, I'm gonna leave it like a little streaky, and I'm gonna go take some red, just a teeny bit of red. I didn't even wash my brush, and I'm gonna give it some pink edges. Because it is Mother's Day, this spring, lots of pink flowers outside. So in your kit, you'll have 3 colors. You'll probably have white and red, and then you could have blue with it, or maybe a little purple. Every kit's a little different. So once I have some pink streaks through it, I am just going to set this aside to dry. It should dry fairly fast, but our flowers might take a little bit. So I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna wash my brush. All right, so our next step we're gonna do is we're gonna paint these flowers. These flowers are called Zola flowers. They're made from tapioca roots and leaves, so they feel like paper almost, but they're actually like a bark or a wood product. So I'm just gonna paint these. I'm gonna make some colors since I have red. I'm gonna wash my brush, and yellow. I'm gonna try and make like a corally color. That's orange. I'm gonna wash my brush again. I'm gonna add some more red to the next one. Okay, so I have my colors that I'm going to use. I'm gonna wash that brush out again. So usually when I tell you to paint, I always tell you to dry your brush. When we paint our flowers, it actually helps if you have a little water on your brush, because the more watery the paint is, like the easier it gets into the flower. So once you guys have your colors, what you could start doing is start painting those flowers. And take your time, they're a little delicate. This one I'm not gonna go too crazy with going inside. And even if you have watercolors at home, you could even use the watercolors to paint. That helps you get into all those little nooks and crannies. And as I'm dipping in paint, I'm actually dipping in water too, just because the more water that's on our paint, the easier it'll become. And I'm not going too crazy. underside. Once again, your hands are going to get messy. All right, so I'm gonna put that one aside. If you have little white spaces, that's okay. Put that one aside, and next I'll do this one. I'm gonna try and make it a pink. So I'm gonna actually mix up my red that I have that has a little white in it. And this flower will be easier to paint because it's tighter. But you guys you'll have like a whole mix of flowers. Some of them, they have roses in them. And I would definitely paint all the flowers that you have, and then you don't have to use them for the final product, but just so you have a little options. Options are always good. All right, so I'm gonna set that one aside. I don't know if I should do a yellow. Maybe I'll make this one yellow. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of white to my yellow. Put a little red cut in there too. I'm just gonna paint this guy yellow. So you definitely wanna go, even if once you finish your flowers, you could take a break and go on like a little nature hike outside and get some branches or sticks. The more branches you have, sometimes you could add like grass on the bottom with branches. Those three will look nice together. All right, I think those look good together. All right, so we're gonna let these dry. What I want you to do is go on your nature hike, and then we'll come back and we'll glue everything together. And just remember, you'll need a couple sticks and some glue. So let's take a break. All right, so we are back. So everything's dried a little bit. I got my sticks from my nature hike. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna glue. Well, I'm gonna make sure my stems are the right sizes. So I need a little bigger one for that one and a little dude for that. So I'm actually gonna put him there. So what I'm gonna do right now, the first thing I'm gonna do is lay it all out, and then I'm gonna glue my flowers down. Usually I say a little goes a long way, but for this, I want you to do a lot of glue. Do like some Elmer's or school glue that dries clear so you don't have to worry about anything. So a lot of glue, put it down. And you might have to, if it isn't like totally flat, you might have to snip it a little, especially with the roses. Sometimes they aren't totally flat. So a lot of glue. So I'm gonna put him up there. This one's nice and flat, a lot of glue. Next, what I am going to do is I'm going to start gluing my sticks down. What I would do is put the glue on the wood and just do like a nice line and then lay your stick into it. These are going to need like a lot of drying time, but that's okay. Beautiful. And then if you have any extra sticks, like I want to make this dude a little bigger. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to put another stick. So it looks like a continuation. This little dude is bothering me. So then I'm just going to put these little guys different places so they look like leaves almost. I don't like that much. I'm going to just put them on the bottom. And even if you don't want to go on a nature hike, you could always paint like little stems and everything. So I'm just going to let this dry, and it should dry pretty well. And you won't see that much glue, but if you do have large chunks of it just laying around, just smooth it out a little bit. So we're going to let this dry, and then